GM. So, welcome back. I know it's been a little while. I think the last one I recorded was, I want to say it was 25th of June. And, currently it's the 7th, which is, it's not ideal, but it's on me. And I just got to say, my bad. I'm sorry I wasn't present for that. I know you've all been horrendously missing me. And I also want to address something. I got something in the comments about me winning more. If you watch it, I'm going to explain exactly why I didn't answer to that. So somebody commented basically like, oh, you're winning more than me and I'm using the same strategy as you. Why? It's a simple case of, sorry to just jump into a rant immediately, but it's just a simple case of practice. Like I'm trying to practice as much as humanly possible to become the best trader I can possibly be. So there's a huge difference between somebody using the strategy and somebody actually using the strategy. So, for example, somebody who just uses strategy, I had a good analogy about Sunday swings about this as well, but I'll tell you in a second. Somebody who just half-asses Sunday swings, and then, I'm not saying that you're doing it, whoever commented, right? But just like my thoughts on this, instead of giving you my social, because this is exactly what I would say, so I'm making this especially for you, is basically, if you half-ass Sunday swings, then you've already lost. There's no point. The strategy does not become effective. But even let's say that you don't half-ass Sunday swings and you do it to the perfect ability, right? That doesn't guarantee you profitability. You need to be very strategical about where you put your, for example, alerts, where you put your TP, your SL, your entry signals, because the strategy is it's not lenient. You have to follow a set of rules or you cannot take the trade. Sometimes you force the trade and that causes it to be worse, like trade conditions, but you can only take it between A to C. And even if that hits, you should constantly be trying to find out what you're doing wrong. Don't blame the strategy. Think in yourself, that's always it's the one thing, I think that's why so many people fail, is it's all on you, right? If you're failing, it's all you. Now, I'm not talking about if you lose a trade. That's not on you. Or maybe it is on you. If your psychology went out the window and you just YOLO'd 30 lots on a 100k account and you lost it and blew the account, well, who the fuck is the dummy, right? Obviously, it's your fault. It's not the market's fault. They had nothing to do with it. However, if you consistently take a strategy, or if you take a strategy and consistently lose with it, even though it has a proven edge, then it's your fault, right? There's no other way to do it. And if you don't know if it has an edge, fucking try it. That's the whole point of creating case studies and creating back tests and all this stuff. And I know it's not fun. It's definitely not fun. And a lot of people say, oh yeah, I like to forward test. I'm like, that's fine. Go ahead, do it. I also forward test all the time. Every pair that I select here is me forward testing. I'm going to be looking at this. Am I going to take a trade with it? I'm not sure. I have no idea. But everything here is forward tested, and then I back test, and then in the back testing I create case studies to show me and create that certainty that it works, right? Because sometimes you're not certain. And I've also developed, out of that strategy, I've developed a certain, a variation of the strategy on how to enter, and that allows me to have better entries, for example. But that's, the secret sauce. But what he teaches already works. I've seen loads and loads and loads of people using it, and they have great success with it, right? But anyways, to something that I actually thought they would never make, which is TradingView I'm talking about, is an actual section. This is so amazing. I've accidentally just pressed it. Maybe it's always been here, but I couldn't have seen it. I think it's new. But I was browsing around and I tried to select it here. and I saw a section. I was like, what the fuck is that? And now I can just unselect it instead of doing that thing of like blocking it off and constantly no, fully open, all chilling. It's all chilling. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So this throwaway pairs, which is like pairs that, I'm not even looking at them. I obviously took a look, analysed, decided it's not going to happen. You can obviously see, like, no, no way, Cosarino, you've got this. I do have, like, different ones. So the latest one that I put, I think, no weekly area of interest. I put some stuff here. But it's just like I analyzed it and then I just deleted it just because it just makes no sense for me to take the trade, right? That was pretty much it. So we can start off here with USD CAD. So I've already done the Sunday swings. I didn't want to put you through the whole of watching me do it. I thought about like maybe it's a return specialist episode. And by the way, I'm gonna be uploading every single day now. I'm not gonna do the 5-minute thing. And I just thought it was so rushed. Like whenever I did 5 minutes, and I tried to squeeze the entire like Sunday swings. I think I did a Sunday swings maybe on a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, right? And I did 5 minutes, and like I have to talk. I'm a really fast talker, but I can't be asked with like trying to break it all down because most people don't, talk as fast or they don't want to watch it, right? So, anyways, let's go straight into it. So we have currently USD CAD. USD CAD is the trade that is the most ready currently at the moment. And there's something I always want to discuss, which is, two things. Well, I think it's just one thing. But anyways, I'll make it into two. So you can see here on the tradable currencies here. That was green list. Tradable currencies, you can see all this stuff, right? All of these things, right? This is Owenda here. Now, for some ungodly reason, Owenda decided to, I think he was like switch their brokers or something, which makes them practically unusable in the charts because you have got gaps like this shit. And you might be like, oh, well, it's not that bad. Well, this is on the weekly. If you drop down to like the 4 hour, it gets pretty fucking bad. And they have a really good reputation. I've been using them so long that it's like, seeing this kind of shit, maybe it's just because it's the summer, but it's that kind of shit. They're really good on the weekly. I would say that. But if you can see here, suddenly after like a few, you see a little bit of hint of this, and then suddenly it just went to shit right around like the end of July something. Look, gap, fucking nearly a gap, but it's genuinely quite annoying. Like this shit, for example, gap, fucking uneven gap there, uneven gap there. And it was driving me nuts. Because it makes like this should not happen. You should not be able to have a fucking 3 pip between two candles that technically close the same. Once is like, okay, that's a bit rare. But like if you have your entire chart looking like this shit, it looks like a Heineken. What the fuck is that called? Heikin-Ashi? Wait. Heikin-Ashi, yeah. It looks like that. If you don't know what it looks like, I'll show you. And you can agree with me completely. It looks like that shit. This is what the charts on Heikin-Ashi looks like. It's the same fucking thing here. So I opened the charts and I was like, what the fuck is going on? All these fucking gaps and shit. It's horrible. Horrendous. You see this shit? Holy fuck. It's like a couple of stones put next to each other with that kind of shit. And it's pretty annoying. And so I had to switch the entire list and create a Forex.com version, which is slightly more bearable here. But they're complete ass on the weekly. Like this shit. Bro, come on now. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's bearable, but it's just... I know it's a big complaint from somebody who doesn't have that much money in the market, right? But I can foresee people have actual serious money in the market, and then they trade that shit, and they just get like sloppy ass market data like this. When it's Forex, it's literally, I'd understand it with stocks, but it literally looks like, I don't know, any stock. What stock can I think of? Tesla. Let's do what is it? TSLA? Yeah. Looks like this shit. I gotta say, fucking unacceptable, bro. But if you do want a solution, I would say don't use the weekly if it looks like horrendous like this. Just kind of switch between Oenda. So if you look here, Oenda is really good in the weekly. Well, kind of not this. This was clearly something going on. But Oenda is pretty good in the weekly, pretty shitty on the hourly. So I would go with just using weekly if it truly gets shit, and then Forex.com usually handles this and looks pretty clean. But anyways, that was that. And second point I was going to make was, I'm sorry, I forgot what it was like to talk on the YouTube channel again. I've lost my ways of being able to restrict my what would I say, my yapping. But anyways, I think that the best, because I was, seeing some, I wouldn't say videos, but like some advice and stuff. And I think the best course of action would usually be trade between January to about June and, do really well in those months. Take 2 months off. I wouldn't say 2 months actually. Take the month off, maybe mid-August, if markets are still a little bit choppy. Because a lot of people are on vacation, right? And, liquidity is not the same, and liquidity is not the same. Filling is not the same. All these different things. So I think you should do that, but you should continue backtesting. Just like if you can't trade because of poor market data, etc., then I think you should just look at the market every single day and just, I would say, what is it called? Future testing? Yeah, future testing. Let's go with that. Let's future test and back test. So you stay in the market, right? You're keeping yourself aware, and you're not losing that skill, because I went off with a week. I haven't looked at the charts in a full week. Like, I looked at some of them, obviously, but to actually sit down, analyze, because I came back on a Monday or something, and I thought, well, I'll just analyze it on Tuesday, then on Wednesday, then Thursday, and then Friday, then Saturday and Sunday, and here we are, right? So it's slightly annoying. And so I think that's what you should do. Just make sure that you do as much as you can throughout January to June. Chill for a month. Let everybody have their vacation. You're chilling, you're doing your thing, but you're still in the markets, just not live. Then back on August, straight into it again. And then you start slowing down in the Christmas months. Because even I when I started doing the trading thing, a lot of people do tell you it's going into like bear mode, where it's just starting to everything's bearish, everything's bearish, which is great for sales, right? But it just means less volatility, etc. So I would just avoid December, straight smack dab in summer, maybe a little bit in start of January, but I don't think so. I think I've had a pretty good month in January. But anyways, let's continue with this. So, yes, we are on a 20% here. Major trade. The trend is bullish. It is bearish for some ungodly reason, but 4 hour is enough for us to take the trade, because if you look on the weekly here, we're smack dab into the weekly area of interest. Drop down to the 4 hour. 4 hour had a break of the previous lower high. So we dropped down to the 30-minute, and currently we have a humongous sized candle here of about 50, let's just call it 50 pips. 50 pips between two lines of the high and higher low. So I think what's going to happen is just break of the higher high, break up the higher low to the upside. That's what I believe is going to happen. I can actually take this off here, like so. Cool. So that's USD CAD, most ready pair that we have this week. Next, comes to go short. We have weekly, so the big boy bearish, daily is bullish. As you can see here, didn't break. However, what did break is the daily area of interest. So what are we waiting for? We are currently waiting for the 4 hour to break inside of the, this is correct, to break inside of the daily area of interest and to go short. That's pretty much it. USD CHF is, at least this week, the only pair that I'm like, okay, well, I'm chilling with this, because it's a 20%er and it's a real nice classic pair setup, at least. So if you look on the weekly, right, we got a retracement back down to the, just give me a second. This is bearish, actually. My mistake. Also, whenever you use a new broker on this, all your time frame stuff, all of it goes to shit. So you have to manually turn off the week so it looks cleaner. Look, I guarantee it's fucking 4 hour. Right. There, and there. Cool. So, we had a break of this. This is currently then, see, lower high, and this is low, like so. Currently in the weekly / area of interest, so this would be bearish. It would mean a 10%er, but I could foresee this. If this breaks the lower high, it will be a 20%er, so I'll keep it as it is, because it just looks so classic. And if you're wondering why, is because the daily has just reached back down to the weekly / daily area of interest, and then the 4 hour, we're just waiting for the lower high to be broken. And anyone who's been watching me knows that this is a really just truly classic setup. Break the lower high, drop down to the 30, etc. So you know this. Next, all of the rest of them, the rest of the pairs from USD CHF, all of them are just waiting for daily area of interest. So you can see it. So this is not going to be a massively long video, even though I've somehow managed to accumulate 18 minutes worth of ranting. Now, so, we can see it here. GDP USD need to break it down into weekly / daily area of interest before we even think about anything else. This one, we need to wait for the 4 hour to break through the daily area of interest. As you can see, weekly area of interest has been reached, but this is actually daily. I'll change it in a second. It needs to break through here, and if it breaks through, I'm looking for a retracement back up, and if I get my entry signal, we're taking this straight down to shorts right around here or here. So let me just change that. Yeah, that's correct. Like so. Next, AUD USD. I'm a little bit skeptical on AUD USD. Might be why it's a good pair. I agree with you. I completely agree with you. However, it's royally fucked me so many times that I'm like a little bit suspicious on it. I've never, to this day at least, had a profitable trade with AUD USD. And I've taken like 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 even trades. You'd have to look back in my videos, but so far I'm like a little bit, I need more confluences would be the correct word for this, or sentence. I would need more of a to B plus trade for me to take this. But anyways, you can see on the 4 hour, we're waiting for a retracement back down to the daily area of interest, which is either 1 or 2. We have alerts on both of them. Into the USD, same exact thing, but there's no option. It just needs to go to the daily area of interest right here. As you can see, right here, I wouldn't say there's any area of interest. EuroCAD, same exact thing. I can put an alert on this actually here, but it's pretty much the same thing on AUD-CAD. So I just hit boom, same thing here. And of course, this has to show up. You think I swear a lot now, but you have no idea. Whenever I come back from my mini laptop, and then I come on to this one, and nothing is saved. Oh, dear Lord. When I'm talking about save, this whole ordeal feels like I'm wasting half my day fucking unclicking the days, because I cannot stand when it's got the lines in the middle. I can't stand it. I don't know why. Like this, for example, that kind of stuff. Horrible. I literally can't stand it. So just give me a second. Just turn all this shit off on the fucking weekly and on the 4 hour. There. Same thing exactly here. Same thing here, but it needs to break through the daily area of interest for a retracement, very much like, I think it was EuroCAD, was it? No. It was a Euro NZT, so. Euro NZD. There. NZD-CAD, and then finally gold. We are taking a slight counter trade if this reaches back down to the daily area of interest, and for now I'm not even thinking about anything else. That's just, I don't like to plan out the trade before it's even hit the first stage of, preparation. I don't even plan it out. I'm just like, okay, cool. If it hits, then I'll plan it out. It's very much like planning out a car crash, or if it happened, like, okay, it's a really good thing to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So, like, it's good to have the training for it. Like, let's say that you need to have the triangle, and you need to have the vest and all this stuff. That's really good. But if you're just sitting and thinking about it all day long of what I would do, you're not really paying attention, are you? And it might never happen, and you might waste all that brain power just thinking about something that just never happened, or never will happen. But again, a bit of an extreme example. Hit there. Here. Cool. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to leave you with a final note of something, which is something I thought about while I was doing this, actually, to highlight the importance of Sunday swings. If you're going to use this method, and if you're going to, I wouldn't say copy me, copy Alex, right? Copy his style, everything. Or just in general, I think. With every trader I've seen, it's pretty much the same thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's some people who just manage to go through it without this one critical thing. And that thing is a weekly review of the market and where you think it might go. I'm yet to see, maybe, I have no idea again, maybe there's some people who do it. Somebody who just opened the charts, saw an entry, and immediately took it and made money. Consistently, at least. So, like, I'm talking about, you've not looked at the charts, you just open it on a random Monday, 8 o'clock, you see your setup with no prior planning. No prior planning. And you just take it. And that's it. Cool. Done. And then you walk away and, I don't know, just get some money. I've yet to see it, because all the traders that I've seen, and all the traders that I follow, and all the traders that I actually watch, not even Alex, just loads of them, all of them have a weekly outlook. Like, I think this might do this, I think it might do this pair is especially interesting because of this. And it's almost like, for example, if you're going to, let's say, you need to shave, right? And you need to have, I don't know, let's say, a straight blade, straight razor. If you're listening to this, I commend you. I'm going to try to give the analogy as best as possible. When you're going to shave your face, for example, you need to have the best lather. Not the best lather, obviously. You need to have a $200 lather. But the most important part is not the shaving. The shaving is quite important, but it's about 30%. The lather is what's most important. The prepping of the face is what's most important. If you just show up, you just rock up as a barber, you see your customer, you just start going straight at him with the razor, well, guess what's going to happen? You're probably going to come loads of times. And he's going to be quite unhappy because it's going to hurt a lot, right? But if you take the time, so let's say it's an extra 8 minutes where you prep the face, put the warm towel on. Okay, you got the warm towel on. And then you put some shaving cream on, like a preparation, just an activation or whatever it can be. And then you use the fine little brush to make sure that everything sticks up perfectly. And then you use correct shaving cream and use it in the correct amount, all these different things, right? Suddenly now, when the blade comes through, you're already 80% done, right? You just pull down. That's all you really have to do. But if you didn't do all the other stuff, the experience would be quite painful, right? So that's pretty much my analogy about Sunday swings. I think, I wouldn't say you can't be a profitable trader without it, but it's very difficult to be it. And a lot of people don't want to put in the work of actually showing up and actually analyzing it. Anybody can do, yeah. But you actually put in the time to log everything. Log your ideas about what you think might happen and how you would react if that thing happened. For example, if USD CAD decided right now to just plummet straight through there, well, my reaction would be, well, that's not my trade. Other people might think, well, if it did this, then I can actually retrace back up here and all these different things, right? For me, it's just not my trade, but for others, it could be your trade. But if you're just going to rock up and be like, yeah, entry signal, yep, done. I don't know how effective that would be. And I think that's why a lot of people try to chase indicators, because it's just such an easy thing. And listen, I've been there myself. I've been the indicator guy who jumps between every indicator that possibly exists. I did the algo thing. I guarantee if you look on the list of indicators here, I got millions. Here, the power levels, DI index, these are actually quite useful, but like inventory retracement chart, and then smothered Ashy candles and stochastic RSI, and this is a bit annoying, but UT bot alerts and all this shit, right? And none of it actually may be profitable in any regard whatsoever. Quite interesting, right? The simpler my charts became, also, I don't have anything else, do I? No, cool. The simpler my charts became, and just the more work I put into it, the more profitable I became. Voila, right? It is, it's an astonishing thing, where I just simply put more work in, decide I'm going to analyze this stuff. And when I come to the markets, I actually remember what happened. I'm like, oh yeah, USD CAD had a break in 30 minutes. And even if I don't, I still have the logs and journals telling me exactly what I need to do, step by step. And even if I don't have that, I rely on my memory, because I already wrote down a full plan of how to do it. And even if I don't have that, I have the case studies, etc., etc., etc. So it's just so much preparation that actually makes you profitable. Right? I think, I think that's very important. And final closing tip here that I would give, that I learned this week, is if you fail, I think it's extremely important to get up quickly, because the more time passes between you failing and you getting up, it gets so hard. For example, for this, when I haven't done it in a week, when you haven't looked at any charts in the week, then it gets really hard. Like, you should have seen the amount of resistance I had towards actually doing this. All the thoughts in the back of my head was like, no, it's going to take too long. It's going to, take up too much time because I have to do stuff tomorrow as well. Not related to trading, but it's just like less sleep. And, there was so much resistance towards me doing it. And this is something I love. And so now you're falling off the horse. And the skill is getting back up. Get back up as quickly as possible. Trust me, you have to do it. If this is actually something that you want, then you have to get up quick. Because the amount of people that I see who just fell off the horse and just never got back up because they just decided, oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. It doesn't fit me now. For example, this doesn't technically fit me. But I said, fuck this shit. Why the fuck am I being such a pussy? I don't get it. This is something I love. I had to have that conversation with myself where I was like, okay, I don't get why I'm having so much resistance towards something I love. Sit down. Doesn't matter if you finish at 3 a.m. Just get it done. And here I am. I thought I was going to finish at least maybe 11, 12. It's 10. It wasn't that hard. I was just imagining how hard it was because sometimes I spent like 2-3 hours doing this. And I think I spent just about that same time today. But it wasn't hard before. But suddenly you fall off the horse. Then suddenly you try to get up again. And you got so much resistance towards doing it. And so many people I know personally just decide, you know what? It's probably not worth it. Or I've got work in the morning. I can't be asked to go to the gym. Come on now. My knee hurts. Like good, valid reasons. Or, you're like, oh, I haven't gone in a week. My gym partner's there. I don't want to be embarrassed, etc. I'm making stuff up off the top of my head, but it's excuses I've heard before, actually. I can't study because of this. But you never started studying, right? I apologize for the ranting, but that's just my thoughts on the matter. That the more preparation you do for the trading, just going to summarize it, the more profitable you become. Getting up and getting back on the horse is a skill. And sitting and reminiscing over how good you were or how you were in your prime years, because we're very blessed in the sense that this job doesn't require anything physical from us other than the physical presence of showing up to the charts, but other than that, everything else is mental, right? But when I was getting the resistance towards doing this, the first thing I thought was, oh, I was so good back then. And I was reminiscing about me being in my, I wouldn't say prime, but this is pretty close to being prime, right? It's pretty close. Which was last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. And I thought, how sad is that? I had to stop myself and think, you're going to just sit here and reminisce? Isn't it so much better to be actually in your prime? Back then, yeah, it sucked. But it's like a good suck. It's like when you do it and you finish, there's no describable metric that you can use towards feeling the pride and achievement of actually doing something that you've wanted to do for so long. And not spending every single day becoming better is just, it's a sad life. I understand some people don't want that. But I think it's a sad life where you become 80, 90, or even 70. You think, wow, I really wasted a lot of time where I could have just, instead of looking back or looking forward, I could have just done what I needed to do that day and just done that every single day. And I think that's relatively important, to just present. Okay, today matters. Tomorrow doesn't exist, and yesterday didn't exist, It doesn't exist. Nobody can turn back time, unless you're like a fanatic who who believes that CIA turns back time. Maybe they do. I have no idea. I'm not a CIA agent, but my point still stands in the fact that reminiscing is one of the saddest things known to man. Because you think, oh, it was so great back then. Well, why can't it be great now? Now, obviously, I'm speaking about something that happened 2 weeks ago, but it could be anything. Just something to think about. But anyways, 35 minutes in. It's supposed to be a 15-minute video. But I'm not going to apologize for that. If you're still here, then I must commend you and thank you for your presence. Hopefully you learned something new. I certainly did. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully not as long video, because I can't do a 45-minute video every single day, but I'll make sure that I upload every single day from now on. You got that promise from me. Alright. See you motherfuckers tomorrow.